Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new tweet from EA Star Wars in regards to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and this contains some very important information about the villain and story in Jedi Survivor. And can I just say real quick, Andreas, it is nice the frequency that EA Star Wars is actually tweeting about Jedi Survivor compared to, I don't know, think back to Lego Star Wars and how infrequently that account tweeted out. It was once every like 6 months, and we were left in the dark for most of the time. That was very frustrating. So it's just nice to see that EA Star Wars is tweeting every couple days about Jedi Survivor. Nice change of pace for Star Wars games that we are covering here on the channel, but nevertheless, we have a brand new tweet from EA Star Wars to talk about. It is very important. We're going to get into it and what it might mean for the game. But first, we have a couple of housekeeping things I want to get to. First, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that is just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification, or right on next to it. It will notify you every single time Andreas and I upload. And second, we have welcomed a lot of new people into the Lunar Squadron over the past few weeks, over a couple hundred new people. And for those of you who are new here, you might not know, we actually have a Discord server for the Lunar Squadron. The link to that is actually down in our description of our videos. It kind of gets buried, but you should consider joining. It's a great time. There are so many wonderful people in there. It's a great place for you to get to know Andreas and I better. We're always in there all the time talking to all of the people in there. It's a great time. So if you haven't yet joined our Discord server, you should consider joining. Now with all of that out of the way, Andreas, are you ready to talk about this brand new tweet and what it means for this game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like we said in the intro, we have a brand new tweet from EA Star Wars, and it shows a picture of our mysterious High Republic friend, fresh out of the bacta tank, and the Jedi bounty hunter, or some sort of bad guy, faction leader perhaps, of the battle droids in the background. And the tweet says, he's here to remind Cal why the Jedi are supposed to be gone. This seems like a pretty big deal, doesn't it, Andreas?
Yeah, it does, because a lot of people were wondering who the hell this High Republic robe, suave-looking bacta-tank man is. And we've, along the way, put together a lot of clues that we've gotten throughout the two trailers, and we've pretty much realized who this is. But what this tweet does is it contextualizes what we've come to discover with the previous two trailers, and we can kind of sort to piece together things in a more definite sense now that we do have this tweet here. So if you guys didn't know, we had pinpointed that this guy here, holding the ancient device, wearing those ancient High Republic robes, this guy is the Sith gentleman who is fighting Cal in the first trailer. Nick, how exactly do we know that?
Yeah, so we've, like you said, long speculated that this guy is one of the main, if not the main bad guys for this game. We were able to piece information from the teaser trailer into the most recent gameplay trailer. We noticed at certain frames in the teaser trailer, the red lightsaber wielding mysterious person that is fighting Cal is in fact wearing the same gold trimmed robes as this individual here. He is also missing his right arm, just like our High Republic friend is. So we have put two and two together that this guy was that main bad guy, or that Sith, possible Sith character in Jedi Survivor. And it appears out of this tweet, we have official confirmation from EA Star Wars that he is indeed one of the main villains, if not the main villain of this game. He will be the antagonist to Cal Kestis and whatever objective Cal is trying to accomplish. Now, Andreas, obviously, there could be a counterpoint to this argument. Perhaps EA meant the Jedi in the background. However, that doesn't make much sense to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think these people are really going off of where this quote is sourced from. So if you guys didn't know, if you've watched the longer second trailer that we received, the gameplay trailer, then you will have noticed that the Jedi says something along the lines of, why don't you show our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead?
A Jedi. Remind our friend here why His kind are supposed to be dead.
This is the Gendai speaking to the bounty hunter, who ends up beating the piss out of Cal in that trailer. And then later on in the trailer, we also see this Gendai who is seemingly handing the ancient device to our High Republic friend, who was the man in the bacta tank, who was the man with the red lightsaber fighting Cal in the previous trailer. So some people are saying that because this Gendai is the one who said this quote, this tweet here is referring to the Gendai in the back, not the High Republic robe-wearing villain that seems to be at the center of the plot for Jedi Survivor. However, there are a couple of reasons why this argument doesn't really hold water for us. The first of which being, it doesn't matter what this tweet or who this tweet is explicitly referring to, because it seems like they're both on the same side here, working together to destroy Cal. So if one of them is here to remind Cal why the Jedi are supposed to be gone, both of them are here to remind Cal why the Jedi are supposed to be gone. They're clearly working together. They're clearly both antagonistic to Cal. And so we do get some sort of official confirmation that this is going to be the big bad, or, definitely seems to be the big bad in Jedi Survivor. Plus, there are some other reasons that you were talking about, right, Nick?
Yeah, to me, I don't buy that this tweet is referring to the Gendai in the background. From this picture that they posted, it is clearly the High Republic individual who is the focus of this shot. He is the one who is main in frame for this shot. There are a couple other shots from throughout the gameplay trailer that EA could have used if they were referring to this Gendai character when they were talking about this quote. And yes, obviously, like you said, Andreas, this is pretty much a repurposing of the quote that he said earlier in the game. But I completely agree with you. They're both clearly working together. So if one is antagonistic towards Cal, the whole team is antagonistic towards Cal. So I think it's talking about one and or both of them. But I really, really feel, and I know a lot of people feel this way, and I believe that this tweet is in fact talking about our High Republic friend. I think we have enough information now from the teaser trailer and what we've been able to put together from the new gameplay trailer and from this tweet that this High Republic guy is going to be one of the main, if not the main, bad guys of this game. Now, the reason, Andreas, I keep saying one of the main bad guys, and I don't want to go all the way as to saying he is just the main bad guy, there's this little faction kind of hanging around, the Galactic Empire. They're kind of a big deal in some parts. So, Andreas, my question is, what I really want to know, and this is something we've talked about in the past, if this guy is one of the main bad guys, if he is a main bad guy, if he is wielding a red lightsaber, now obviously that doesn't mean he is Sith. Just because you wield a red lightsaber doesn't mean you are part of the Sith, but he's definitely not a good guy. You don't see Jedis and good guys running around with red lightsabers very often. What is his relationship going to be with the Empire? What is his relationship going to be with the Inquisitors? More importantly, what is his relationship going to be with the Emperor, with Darth Vader? Are they going to be aware of each other? I think there are so many interesting directions that EA and Respawn can take here. So what are you thinking? Is there going to be some sort of relationship here with the Empire, or are they going to try and just keep these completely separate?
I mean, before we get into his relationship, I think we have to take a kind of a deep dive into what we know about him so far. And we know that this is a guy who felt betrayed, presumably by another Jedi, before he was plunged into the bacta tank and left there to rot for many, many years. So he has an angle against the Jedi here. And now this tweet is explicitly telling us that this guy is here to remind Cal why the Jedi are supposed to be gone. This guy has some big motives, which are he wants to eradicate all of the Jedi, which is a very similar motive to Emperor Palpatine himself and Darth Vader. That's what is at the forefront of the Empire right now. The priority number one for Darth Vader, for example, is to, at this time, is to find Obi-Wan, kill Obi-Wan, leading the Inquisitorium to eradicate and kill all of the Jedi. These are going to be two factions which are aligned in their ultimate goal, which is to find and exterminate the Jedi at this period in time. And so, personally, I think it would be incredibly interesting to see these two individuals, both this High Republic, the evil of old, and Palpatine, the evil of new, come together and maybe duke it out, maybe have an initially antagonistic interaction, but then realize that they're going for the same goal. honestly, there are so many ways that they can go about doing this. Obviously, this guy seemingly violating the rule of two as well. If he were to be a Sith, like you said, Nick, he's not explicitly a Sith just because he has a red lightsaber. But what if that is his motive, is to become a Sith and enter the club with Palpatine? Is that going to cause friction? Are we going to see him fight against Vader over who gets to be Palpatine's apprentice, or are we going to see the classic apprentice trying to overthrow the master with a new apprentice? Are we going to see Darth Vader try to take on this guy as his apprentice and overthrow Palpatine? I don't know. There's a limit, obviously, as to how much they can actually go with this, because they have a little thing called the original trilogy that they have to abide by. And if they wanted to, they could steer clear of the original trilogy altogether and have this guy completely miss Palpatine and Vader throughout this plot. They can just say, Vader was a part of the last game. We're going to do something new with this game. And if they did that, I'd be equally as happy. What do you think, Nick? And more importantly, what would you like to see?
Yeah, like you said, it seems like this guy has the exact same motives of the Sith. They are trying to overthrow the Jedi and bring the Order to its knees, which they have successfully done. They have the same motives, but for some reason, I'm just getting the general vibe from this guy that his ego will not allow him to play with Palpatine, and that's the same way with Palpatine. They're they're not going to be equals here, but, I could see this guy, he's from the High Republic era, he's older, he's been trapped, and maybe he's just like, I don't really give a shit what this Emperor Palpatine has to say, or this Darth Vader guy has to say. Like, I was here first, I was doing this first, so it's like, it's my thing, I'm going to do it on my own. So I really am not quite sure if he's going to cross paths with the Empire. I could see something with the Inquisitors, but it seems like this guy might be a little too powerful, or a little too, too big to be a part of the Inquisitors, but he clearly is going to get his hands on a red lightsaber somehow. So I don't know. It's probably my biggest question going into this game is, what is this guy's relationship going to be with the Empire? Because like you said, there are so many different directions EA and Respawn could take here. Obviously, the easiest route here is to just have him completely avoid the Empire, like you said, but do you really believe that a guy like this shows up? Very powerful, High Republic guy, clearly not a good dude. You think he completely stays off of the Empire's radar? He stays off of Vader or Palpatine's radar? You don't think they know about this guy? I mean, they're hunting Jedi down. Anyone who shows an ounce of Force ability, they are on their ass immediately. Like, that's the job of the Inquisitors. You're telling me the Inquisitors are not going to track this guy down at any point? They're not going to be aware of this guy's, general appearance in this era? I just have a hard time believing that. And I think this, like I said, this will be the most fascinating thing to find out with this game. It is what I am the most excited to see, because there are just so many different elements at play here. And there are so many different directions EA and Respawn could take that could make this story so cool. So I'm really interested. I really hope we get some more information soon, or another gameplay trailer soon, or something soon that gives us just some more information into who exactly this guy is, what his story is, what he's trying to accomplish, and how it's going to play into the grand picture of the Galactic Empire.
One thing that that I was immediately considering here is, since this guy is from the High Republic, is there any chance that he knew Palpatine from beforehand? And in looking this up, interestingly enough, I'm seeing that the High Republic ends in 82 BBY, which is coincidentally the exact same year that Palpatine is born, 82 BBY. So this guy is from the High Republic. Is there any chance that he's somehow maybe related to Palpatine? Maybe something like that? I don't know. I think there's so many things that they could bring up here, and I want to see some sort of connection here now.
Are we really going to go the episode 9 route here? I don't know if he's going to be related to Palpatine. Maybe he knew Plagueis or something, or somewhere, had some sort of connection to the Sith earlier on. I don't know. That would be wild. I hadn't even considered that. So, like I said, it is probably the most pressing question for me going into this game, because it can completely change the way this game is laid out and the rest of the Jedi series unfolds. It can completely change it. It could completely change the way we look at perhaps even the original trilogy era and the Galactic Empire era as a whole. There's a lot at stake here, and there's a lot of stuff EA and Respawn could do here. A lot of good, perhaps some bad, but there's a lot of stuff they could do here. So really, really, really interested to see what ends up happening with this guy.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably the one plot detail that I personally am most excited to see play out in this game. Of course, guys, let us know your theories as to what the hell is going on with the bacta tank guy, with the High Republic guy, whatever you want to call him. I can't wait until we get a name for this guy. But for now, guys, we know that this guy wants to see the Jedi end. They've almost explicitly revealed his hand here. We know why he's in this story, which is directly at odds with Cal. How is this thing going to play out? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it, and it'll let you know every single time that we upload the latest and greatest Jedi Survivor and Star Wars content on YouTube. However, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.